Here, on the banks of the Maas, cutting-edge architecture claws its way up to the heavens. Standing tall and proud is a metropolis with its own style, its own culture, its own people. Swarming between the skyscrapers are hundreds and thousands of lives, each people connected to the city, each man and woman filled to the top with a no-nonsense attitude that values working hard over talking hard. With a history of global trade and a port that caters to the world, it is no surprise that Rotterdam is a living beehive of different cultures. Only a little more than half of the city's 600,000 inhabitants are fully Dutch, with Surinamese, Turkish, Moroccan, Antillean, European, and other immigrants making up the rest. If the port is the crown that Rotterdam carries, Erasmus University is the jewel that adorns the tip. Founded in 1914 as a school for economic trade, it is now ranked worldwide as one of the leading universities. Completely in line with the international atmosphere of the city, the university has over the years opened its doors to foreign students by offering English language programs of phenomenal quality. Erasmus University has made a lot of effort to make the campus grounds as accommodating as possible for international students. The university has been ranked as excellent in internationalization. With all its praise, it's easy to consider the job well done and bask in one's achievements. The unfortunate truth is that the university still has quite a way to go to make itself as welcoming to international students as it would like to be. On topics like food, jobs, sororities, and especially housing, the university could still benefit a lot from some extra effort on their part. In this documentary, we challenge the university to reconsider the status quo and go the extra mile on housing and the social environment in particular. We had the privilege to interview Emma Hamilton, one of the coordinators at Erasmus. First, we asked her about the general climate of international students.
Well, when I was a student started in 2003, I was part of an international bachelor's program, IBA, Business Administration program. At that time, it was the only international program on campus. So with the amount of international students that we had then, that was just us, basically. And now we're 11 years on, so we've got quite a few more international study programs on campus, which means there's more international students. So I think in that sense it's definitely changed. The university is internationalizing. More things are English. The food court is there to cater to international students. The whole surroundings are just a bit more accommodating to international students as it was when I was a student back in the days.
The first problem anyone has when moving to a city is finding a place to live. This can be hard for internationals that do not speak the language and are unfamiliar with the culture and governmental regulations. Luckily, the university has facilities in place to help international students find housing. Easy enough it would seem. However, the rent for these locations is much higher than what the average Dutch student has to spend.
To facilitate or to help our students find a place to live, the international students, when they come to Rotterdam, is of course that we have our admissions officer here who assists our international students in finding a place to live, and this is, as with all the other faculties, actually there's always someone who's sort of facilitating on behalf of the housing office, the central level at the university.
My name is Sarita. I'm part Dutch, part Middle Eastern, and I study Ibcom, and I'm 19 years old.
My name is Isadora. I'm half Serbian, half Russian. I'm 18 and I also study Ibcom. The building is a really cool place to live. We are surrounded by students all the time, so whenever we're bored we can just get out of our rooms and it's just really fun.
And it's really international and we're international students, so it's nice to have all these people and that.
Well, she lives in a studio. I live in the normal room, so I have to share a bathroom and a kitchen with 2 other people. But when you move into the room, you have a bed, mattress that doesn't even deserve to be called a mattress because you can just put a glass of water on the mattress and jump on it and nothing will happen because it's like a rock. And you get some like basic furniture, but you basically get everything that you need inside the room.
I think the rent is very like good in terms of what I have, because I have my own place. I have a studio. I don't really roommate with anyone, and yeah, I pay less than her. I pay about 500. I also get Hoeteslag, whereas she pays about 550.
Yeah. But in comparison to her, I have to share a bathroom and a kitchen.
Thus, the student who shares a room with others actually ends up paying more than the student who gets a room for herself. Next, we asked some international students what their thoughts were on the new campus food court.
Well, I think they have a lot of options here in the food court for students, which is nice. But I do think that since we're students, they could lower the prices a bit.
Well, there are quite a few nice places, but the oodles and froze and the pork are really expensive. They're healthy, but they're expensive, so I just don't bother. I'd rather go for the €1 rice I get in the satay bars.
Yeah, I think overall the food is good here. It's worth its price, but student-wise, I think it's still quite overpriced, and it could do with smaller numbers. The food is enjoyable, like I said, but it's not something you will buy every day.
All of the students shared the opinion that the food was good, but still overpriced.
I think we should also try and create jobs for students that don't speak Dutch. But it is definitely a challenge. I mean, we see it here as well. When we look for student assistants, there are also things that need to be done in the office that Dutch is preferred. That is just the thing. You're in the Netherlands, and that's a problem we struggle with. We have to continue to struggle with, and it's not something that a country like the US or the UK will struggle with, because if you speak English, you can get along. I'm not sure if the university really needs to sort of take a standpoint in it or facilitate or make it easier. I mean, it is something that students should just know when they come here. I think it's again more about managing expectations. Like, students shouldn't come here and expect that they can just find a side job in the first week of university.
I haven't tried to find a job here, but that's because I need a work permit, and I don't know how long that will take. Also, I don't really, I'm not in need of a job right now, but once I am, I don't really know how the process works. Because I've heard from some people that it's quite difficult to get a work permit, and others say it's not that difficult, so yeah, I'm just not gonna do anything about it for now.
A student organization sounds about right. I mean, sororities are okay, but an actual student organization, I mean, ESN is also kind of like that, and we're doing media and communication, so it'd be nice to do things like that, where you can have events and
really fully integrate the Dutch and international students, what it was initially set up to, really make the host friends. It's still difficult because ESN remains an organization for international students, exchange students mainly, and the Dutch, they sort of tag along, but those are the ones who would have been friended in the first place anyway. Within Erasmus University, I think ESN is enough. I think it's easier if there's just one organization that is a point of reference for students.
Hence, the university needs to become more accommodating to international students. This includes helping them to find affordable housing, either in campus or not, helping them to find jobs that don't require knowledge of the Dutch language, as these are vastly available, providing more food options at a cheaper price, and opening more organizations that help international students get acquainted with Dutch students.